There we go. Okie dokie then. Lovely. So let's get started then. Just bringing yourself down to your mat, just as usual. Just before we do get into it, actually, have you got belts with you? I forgot to send a message out just to say to get a belt. So if you need to go and grab a belt, go and grab a belt. We don't need it much tonight, but we do need it a little bit. So just get that ready. You know, people have dashed off for their belts now, so I'll just give people a second to get back. Right. Okay then. So just as usual, we're just going to bring our. Actually, I am gonna mute this thing if you don't mind. If anybody needs me, just to wave about at the screen. Yeah. Okie dokie. Lovely. So yeah, just bringing yourself down to your mat then. I just realised I crawled back. You must have got a lovely view there as I was just crawling back to my mat. If you're looking, that's the thing. You're probably all down on your mat by now. So just breathe in there, allowing yourself to arrive. And just being, you know, thankful to yourself for giving yourself this bit of time where we're just going to focus right on you. Just going to focus on you and your body and your breath. And I've come to realize that I get ever so sensitive to the energy, which is related to the whatever the moon's doing. And we are due to have a full moon tomorrow. I think it starts at about 11:30 in the morning, and the energy really dips around about that time. People quite often find that their energy dips. And since I've kind of been researching more into like moon cycles and stuff, I've realized I'm quite in tune with it. So I'm really feeling like quite low on energy today. So we'll have a practice, but it'll be nice and gentle, and hopefully that'll suit some of you as well. Okay, not completely gentle, of course. So just allowing yourself just to arrive in the mat. You can do this part with your legs straight or your legs bent. It's completely up to you. I just want you to feel the weight of your body on the mat, and I want you to feel completely supported by the mat. Taking a deep breath all the way in and exhaling. Bringing the breath down, right down to the diaphragm. And trying to breathe out from the diaphragm as well. And really fully exhaling. Really letting go of everything that's in there. And as you exhale, you might find that your body just relaxes that little bit more. And then when you are next coming to your full exhale, I'm just going to bring the left leg all the way into the body. So just bringing the left leg in, giving that a squeeze. And as usual, we'll work through our normal hamstring routine just to keep that maintained. So taking hold of the leg, pulling it into the tummy. And then taking hold of the leg underneath the knee, keeping the thigh back on the tummy. I'm going to take the heel up towards the ceiling. Belt. You're going to need your belt in a sec, so get that nearby. Yeah. So your heel's trying to get away from your body, and you're trying to pull the thigh back in towards the tummy. So your hamstrings are starting to warm up here now. Your leg might be wobbling at this point. It just means there's a lot of effort going into that. That's fine. Trying to keep both hips down on the floor. I have a tendency of like pushing through my foot and bringing my bottom up a little bit. So just being mindful to keep everything down on the mat. And then we're just going to take the belt. I'm going to take an end in each hand of the belt, and you're going to straighten your leg all the way out now. So just making sure that that knee is completely straight. There's no bend left in the back of the knee there. And if there is, you just need to drop the foot down towards the floor, straighten the leg out, and then start to work into that stretch a bit further. Remembering the breath. So the arms are just relaxed on the mat. And then I want you to take hold of the belt a little nearer to the foot, actually. Take both ends of the belt into the left hand. So the hand's coming up nearer to the foot. Again, keep both hips right down on the floor. So the base of the spine should still be nice and relaxed on the mat. And then we're going to bring this left leg out to the side. So we drop the left leg out to the left and the right leg out to the right. And we just keep breathing there. Again, there shouldn't be pain during these stretches, but discomfort's okay. You could just start to breathe into any discomfort anywhere. Loving some big sighs tonight. Nice deep inhale there. And as you exhale, bring that leg back to center. I'm going to swap the hand over, so the other belt's taken in the right hand now. You're going to just drop your left arm out to the side on the floor and straighten your bent leg out along the mat. So you've got two straight legs now, and then you're going to bring the left leg all the way over to the right, and you're going to look down the left arm. So you've got a twist right from the crown all the way down to the base of the spine. And breathing, keeping the lungs filled there. Relax. Relaxing as much as you can. Nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, bring that leg back to center. We'll release the belt from the foot there, and then we'll do all of that again on the other side. So bringing both feet to the floor as the knees bend, and then you're going to bring the right leg all the way into the body. So just bringing the thigh back onto the tummy. Taking the leg underneath the knee, keeping the thigh and tummy in contact, and then taking the heel up towards the ceiling. Again, trying to keep your hips down on the floor. And I'm going to take the belt. And I'm going to put that around the ball of the foot. Just take an end in each hand of the belt here. Again, same as the other side. We're just looking for that leg to be completely straightened out now. Okay. And breathing into any discomfort, allowing the base of the spine to relax into the mat. Allow the shoulder blades just to connect with the mat as well. The back of the neck tries to get towards the mat. And then you're going to take both ends of the belt into one hand, taking the hand a little closer towards the foot as you do that. And then you're going to take the right foot all the way out to the right side. And just allow the left knee to drop out to the left, just so you don't roll over. And again, keeping the breath nice and focused and engaged there. Bringing the legs back to the center. You're going to swap the belt over into the other hand. You're going to straighten the bent leg out along the mat. So two straight legs now. Then that right leg comes all the way over to the left. So you're coming into a twist. The right arm goes out to the side, and you're going to look down the right arm as well. So you've got a lovely twist going through the spine here, trying to relax the body as much as possible as you can here. There's a lot of tension wants to be held in all sorts of different places in this twist. If you can like relax your shoulders, Relax your tummy, relax your hips. Just relax as much as you possibly can down into this twist. And breathe. Nice deep inhale there then. And on the exhale, let's bring your leg back to center. I will just release the belt from the foot there. I'm going to bring both knees into the body now and have a little rock side to side. Okay. And if it's okay for you, no history of any disc problems, just going to rock backwards and forwards there as well. Okay. This is where I'm hoping that you can't. I'll just have a cup of tea, before I started, and I can hear it in between. I hope you guys can't hear it. Okay, so you're just going to come all the way up to sitting. And actually, I forgot to do our dynamic bridge, so let's just bring ourselves back down to the mat a second. We'll have to do that rock and roll again in a second. Normally start with bridge. So yeah, I just forgot that for some reason today. Anyway, let's do a little bit of bridge. So we're just rolling the spine away from the mat. And this might feel differently to what it does when we normally start with it, because we've done lots of hamstring stretches. The hamstrings are actually warmed up now as well. Excuse me, it's all this lovely deep out breaths that are making me yawny. So just coordinating that with the breath then. So as you breathe in, the hips are coming up. And as you breathe out, the hips are coming all the way back down to the mat. Inhaling, rising. Exhaling, releasing. Inhaling, rising. And exhaling, releasing. We're going to introduce the arms as well. The hips come up, arms come up and over. Breathing in. Hips come down, arms come down. Breathing out. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Just doing that in your own breath. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lowering. We're just remembering with anything that we do tonight, in tonight's practice, this is your practice. This is me just making some, giving you some ideas of what you can do. I kind of sort of planned a little route into our main posture. So it was really nice if you joined me for that. But equally, if you just want to sort of sit in pose of a child all night, that's absolutely fine. This session, this time that you've carved out for yourself is literally just that. It's time for you. So do with it whatever feels good. Okay, let's bring the knees all the way into the body again, and we'll just lift the tailbone off the floor ever so slightly. So you're just rocking the knees backwards and forwards. Just lifting the bottom up ever so slightly. Just starting to get some work going through the core. Not very heavy work, just starting to lift the pelvis there. Okay, and then we'll start rocking. And we'll just have 3 or 4 of those. And we'll come all the way up and over into some cat-cow breaths. So once you've done a few of my classes, you really know what the first 10 or 15 minutes looks like, and it's all of this stuff. But it's so important for maintenance, so important for just keeping everything in working order. So hands right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. Deep inhale with a straight spine, and as you exhale, you're going to arch the back up. Bring the chin all the way into the body. And as you inhale, the bottom floats up, the tummy dips down, and the head comes forward. Exhaling, arching up. Chin comes in. Inhaling. Swapping that out into the opposite direction. Exhale. That's it. And inhale. Swapping that out. Just a couple more breaths there in your own time and in your own breath rhythm. I think one of the nice things about doing yoga in your own house is that you can make all the noises that you're probably a little bit scared, shy to make when you're in class. I'm not. I'm not shy to make them, but I do try and encourage some of you to make more noisy breaths and yeah, just not hold yourself as much. I think everybody's really scared that they're going to break wind, or even worse. So don't worry about it. That's the nice thing about doing that at home. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so once you come back to a level spine, I just want you to take your right arm out in front. So coming into tiger pose here, the right arm goes out in front and the left leg comes all the way back. So you've got to make a nice straight line from the back ankle all the way through to the front wrist. And then what I want you to imagine is that someone's pulling you by the hand and by the ankle. So you can feel that stretch going right through the body. Keep the eyes down on the mat. Just keep the keeping the neckline in line with the spine, and just making sure that you haven't like twisted your leg as you've come up. So you're really just trying to keep your hips level. Keep breathing there. We're just going to hold that for a few more breaths. We're just going to do one on each side today. So we're just going to work that right through. Just keep holding that. Keep imagining that you're being pulled by the ankle and by the wrist. Eyes down on the mat. Ignoring maybe your buttocks started shouting now. Whatever, that's okay. You can just work through that. Just thinking about the hand that's on the mat. Has that got full connection with the mat? Can you push each finger down into the mat and the thumb? And the top of the foot that's on the mat, can you push the toes down into the mat? Just trying to distract ourselves a little bit from the job in hand. Okay. And then we just come down, and we're going to do that on the other side. So, left hand floating forward, right leg going back. And again, same thing there, as if someone's pulling you by the wrist and pulling you by the ankle. Lovely stretch right across the back there, and right across the transverse and the tummy. And again, just pushing. Is the palm of the hand connected to the mat with the hand that you're leaning on? Can you feel a little gap between your hand and the mat? How's your knee doing that you're kneeling on? Is your shin fully connected with the mat, or is there a gap somewhere? It's bringing all of this mindfulness into every single posture. And just bringing the hand and the knee back down. Okay. So from here, then we're just going to bring ourselves all the way down onto our mats, onto our tummies. And we're just going to come up into cobra. So we always do loads of cobras, because we often do some salutations, which have got cobra in. But I really just wanted us to take the time tonight just to focus on this as in its own right. So just bringing the thumbs in towards the ribs, hands are down on the mat, forehead's down on the mat. And then just before we move into it, I want you to imagine that every time you breathe in, you're creating a little bit of space in between each vertebra. So it's almost as if you're lengthening, creating space in there. And as you breathe out, the space doesn't quite go back to where it was. There's a little bit of space remains. So you could either work your way up the spine, thinking about each vertebra individually with a breath. Or you could do it all in one go, where you imagine the whole of the spine is just elongating that little bit. Great visualizations. And there is scientific evidence to sort of say that even if you just imagine sometimes that you're doing a yoga posture, you can actually reap some of the benefits. So just imagining the spine's lengthening. There's lots of space in between the vertebrae. All the way right up into the neck. Space between the vertebrae. And then the next time we inhale, we're going to create that space, but we're going to push ourselves up through the hands. Okay, so inhaling, creating that space coming up. So my pubic bone comes away from the mat when I come up into that. And I've got a nice strong base that I'm working through here. So I'm not really hanging on my shoulders. I'm pushing right up. So my arms are really nice, strong frame. Okay. And then what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to push the belly button forward. Just keeping an eye on your spine, making sure that you're not feeling any twinges anywhere through the spine when you do that. If you are, maybe this isn't right for you today. I'm just going to check on somebody there. Oh yeah, that's fine. Trisha's just got some light. It looks like your lights are flashing. I didn't know whether you were trying to get my attention. So the rest of the body, so the upper body's right down on the floor, but the top of the body's up. So as if somebody's pulling us by the bottom of the ribs. That doesn't sound very nice, does it? But pulling us forward. Okay, and then from the front of the chest, we're trying to get that forward and through. The collarbone, we're trying to get that forward and through. Just going to take the eyes up. And you should feel a lovely stretch there, right through the tummy. A few more breaths there. And let's ease that out by coming into pose of the child. So pushing all the way back, bringing the forehead all the way down to the mat. You can feel that ease the back out straight away. Hands just come behind you. Forehead down on the mat. And just have a few breaths here. Okay, so from there, just going to come back up onto all fours, and we're going to bring ourselves into downward facing dog. Okay, so toes under. I'm going to push the bottom up towards the ceiling as much as possible, coming up onto really high tiptoes. The highest tiptoes you've got now. You've gone from this position, pushing back in the hands as you really start to take the bottom up towards the ceiling. And then one by one, you can just take one heel down towards the floor as you walk the dog. And when it feels right for you, and if it feels right for you, you can bring both heels down towards the floor, pushing through the heels of the hands. You're trying to take the torso through towards the legs. So that thread we talk about when we're in mountain pose, or when we're trying to sit up straight that comes out of the crown of the head, imagine that coming from the base of the spine, now coming up towards the ceiling. So this thread's now got you from there. Just a few breaths here. So this really brings everything into alignment. Downward dog is such a popular yoga pose because it brings everything into alignment. It's great for aligning all your chakras up. It's great for naturally pulling on all of your bandhas, which is, if you know anything about your bandhas, they're energy centers in the body. You've got one just above your pelvic floor, one in your tummy, one at your throat. And if you lock them, so you can pull up your pelvic floor, you can pull your tummy in, and you can bring your chin towards your chest so that you can't really pass much breath through the throat. That brings on an ujjayi breath, which is a little bit like a breath meditation. Okay then. So from there, we're just going to walk the hands and feet together. We're just going to very slowly bring ourselves up to standing. Finally, we're on our feet. Okay. Okay, it's an absolutely beltingly gorgeously sunny day today. So thanks for being in your rooms where I know it's not quite as sunny. Okay, so just bringing ourselves into Tadasana. If you want to do mountain pose up at the top end of your mat, because we're going to come and do some warriors and sun salutations and stuff after this. So you'll be in position, ready for it. So as before, I want you to imagine that there's 3 prongs coming out of the sole of the foot, one underneath the big toe, one underneath the little toe, and one at the heel. And it's as if you're plugged in to the mat. Really sort of feeling yourself grounding down. And if you aren't on the ground floor, just imagine, if you can, that you're maybe on grass or on sand or something that's really earthy, and really feel your feet. I've got my eyes closed, feel free to join me with that. Really grounding the heels down. So this is really just rooting us, making us feel connected and held. I think that's the big thing. The root chakra, which is just by the perineum, but then is encouraged all the way down the legs. And we concentrate on the root. We take the roots down through the feet. And that is all about feeling safe and secure. So just really allowing yourself to ground down into the earth and feel supported. So once you've got that connection with your feet, I want you to really bring the tension into your legs, lift your knees, bring your buttocks in together. Okay, so your legs are nice and strong, thighs are nice and strong, and then your pelvic floor's lifted. Got a lot going on in this bottom half. Can you feel the power now through the base? Okay, and then the core, bring the core in, all the way in. We'll open the chest. Breathe in, relax the shoulders down, relax the arms, become heavy. And then you've just got this lovely thread pulling you nice and tall through the crown of the head. Legs are strong, pelvic floor is lifted, core engaged. Ribs are relaxed, chest open, heart is soft. And the arms are heavy. And this is Tadasana Mountain Pose. So I'll just chat to you quickly about this full moon. I'm not going to talk a lot about it. But yeah, so the full moon's coming tomorrow, and it's a really great time to manifest. But what it's really good for doing is letting go of stuff. So at the new moon, we can manifest loads, but at the full moon, it's like, what am I getting rid of? So just keeping your attention in your mountain pose Tadasana. Just want you to imagine, and you can do this tomorrow night, but I just want you to imagine that you're stood like in a field or somewhere where you're in nature with your feet ground down, and it's nighttime and you've got that full moon right above you. So we can feel the energy of the full moon from the day before to the day after, even a couple of days either side. So we just want you to imagine right now that let's bring our hands into prayer at the heart center. Some breath. And just imagining that glow coming down over you. And I'm not going to put you on the spot now to try and think about stuff that you need to or want to let go of. But if something springs to mind, just go through that process now. Just have a little think about the way that you're connected. You're receiving this energy from the moon. It's flowing all the way down through the body. And whatever it is that you want to let go of, just let it go through the soles of the feet. And as it hits the earth will turn that into positive energy. And nobody needs to deal with it anymore. So just bring in the breath in as the energy from the full moon fills you from the crown all the way down. Taking time for it to fill the body. And anything you want to let go of. And if you haven't got an intention to let go of there, just say to yourself, I'm making space for new things. You can do that. Just make space for new things, and you can let the space go through the soles of the feet. Lovely. Okay then, so from there, I just want you to take a step back with your right foot. So hands still in prayer at this point. Taking a step back with your right foot, just coming into warrior one here. So you've got a little bend in the front knee. The feet are pointing forwards-ish, both feet.
You might need to turn your back toes out ever so slightly, just so your hips aren't compromised too much, okay? And then turn your tailbone under, so can you see how my back does this thing? And yours may do too, but if it does, you can turn your tailbone under just to get that to straighten out a bit there at the back. But if it doesn't, that's absolutely fine, and only do what feels right. So this, you're in prayer there. Just allow the hands to come down by the side, palms facing forward. Take a few breaths here, pushing down in that front foot, pushing down in the back foot. I want you to bring the pelvic floor in together, tighten the core. Allow the shoulders to drop. And then we're going to bring the hands together in front, and then you're going to bring the hands all the way up so that your head comes in between the arms. Okay, lovely. And you can take this into a little bit more of a back bend if you want to. So how I would suggest doing that is we create that space through the spine on the inhale, rising up, and bending back a little more on the exhale. Okay. Keeping both feet firmly attached to the ground. The pelvic floor still lifted, core still working. You could even smile. And breathe. Warrior one. Lovely. And keeping the hands in exactly the same position. We're going to come all the way over the leg, and we're going to come all the way down until your hands reach the floor, and you're just going to bring them by the side. So your thighs come all the way down onto that, your tummies come all the way down onto the thigh. And then you're just going to straighten that front leg if you can. Not for long, we're going to work into this pose a little more soon. So bend that front knee again. We're going to lift up. And we're going to step back forward into Tadasana, mountain pose. Bringing the hands into prayer again. And this time you're going to step back with the other foot. Okay, so you've got a slight bend in that front knee again. Both feet are facing forward if that feels okay for you. Pushing both feet down into the floor, lifting the pelvic floor, engaging the core, allowing the shoulders to relax. Inhale, we're going to raise the arms. And then you might want to take this into a deeper back bend. If this feels okay for you as you are, where you are, that's absolutely fine. If you want to take it into a deeper back bend, you inhale. And on your exhale, you bend back. Just be careful with the spine. If anything feels like it's nipping, just ease off. Lifting the chest high. And we're going to keep the hands where they are. We're going to fold all the way forward, bringing the tummy all the way down onto the torso. Once the hands come to the floor, we're going to take them by the foot, and then we're going to straighten that front leg. Okay, so this is kind of bringing us into pyramid pose a little bit. But again, we're going to work into this in just a second. So bending that front knee again, we're going to come back up to standing and stepping forward into mountain pose. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into sun salutations. We'll do 3 sun salutations through. I'm going to just realize I didn't have my clock. And I just want to keep an eye on the time so we don't run over too much. Okay, so bringing your arms up and together. As you inhale, you're going to fold forward. Keep the back straight as you exhale. And you're going to bring the head all the way into the knees. Inhaling, you're going to look forward, straighten the back. And exhale, head comes towards the knees again. Hands down to the floor. As you inhale, you're going to step back with the right foot. Drop the right knee. You're coming into crescent moon here. The hips are low. We do this every class. Chest nice and high. Breathe. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Hands down. You're going to bring yourself back into plank. So the back toe goes under. You bring yourself back into plank there. Okay, so it's up to you how you take yourself down to the floor here. You can go knees down, chest down, and then your bottom stays in the air, which all feels funny. And then you're going to bring yourself all the way down onto the floor. And then you're going to inhale into cobra. Okay. So we'll do this again a little bit quicker with the breath. The second round through, we're going to push back into downward facing dog there. And we just have a few breaths here in downward dog. We're going to take the eyes between the hands. We're going to take the right foot in between the hands there. You're going to drop the left knee on the floor and you're going to keep the hips low and come up into crescent moon on the other side. Hands back down by the foot. You're going to swing back into plank again. Now, if the way we came down before wasn't for you, you could, if you've got enough upper body strength, keep the body nice and straight and come down in a straight line all the way to the floor and inhale as you come up into cobra. Turning the toes under, back into downward facing dog. I think most of you will be getting the hang of this by now. You do this often and it's not that complicated. I think some salutations can just sometimes feel it because it feels like there's so many variations of them out there. So eyes forward then, we're going to put both feet between the hands as we jump forward. Inhale, come to stand. And exhale, bring the hands into prayer. Okay, we'll do that 2 more times through. And we'll do it a bit more with the breath. If you feel like you can't keep up or not for you, just do the bits you can. But I know you can keep up and I know that it's like for you. So, yeah, remember this is your practice. Okay, so inhaling, bring the arms up, and exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhale, head to knees. Inhale, step back right foot. Exhale into crescent moon. Inhale into plank. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale into cobra. Turning the toes under, into downward dog as you exhale. Couple of breaths here. Eyes forward on your next exhale. You're going to put the foot in between the hands, the right foot. And inhale into crescent moon. Bring the foot back into plank. Inhale and plank. And exhale as you lower down. Inhale into cobra. Turning the toes under, into downward facing dog on the exhale. Couple of breaths here. Eyes are coming forward. On the next exhale, you're going to jump forward. So you inhale where you are. Exhale, jump forward. Inhale, come to standing. And exhale. Bring the hands into prayer. Last one then. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale. Fold forward. Inhale, looking straight. Exhale, head to knees. Step back as you inhale. And exhale into crescent moon. Inhale into plank. And exhale, lower down. Inhale into cobra. Turn your toes under, into downward facing dog. Couple of breaths there. As you exhale, as you inhale, your foot's going to come forward. Drop the knee. And as you exhale, into crescent moon on the other side. So your right foot's come forward there. And hands come down towards the mat. You're going to come back into plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale into cobra. Turning the toes under, into downward facing dog. Trying to get the bottom up towards the ceiling. Both eyes coming forward. Both feet are going to go in between the hands. Inhale as you come to stand. And exhale to finish. Lovely. Okay. So, we're nearly getting to our our main posture for tonight anyway. So we've got a couple of balancey type things that I want to do first. So I think some of you have done this one with me before. I think most of you have. Half standing lotus pose, which is, we're going to bring the feet to ground down into the mat again. Okay, and then we're going to come up onto the left foot first of all, and we're going to take the right, so there's a little bend in the knees there, just like that, just ever so slight bend, excuse me, and then we're going to bring the right foot up, and that's going to rest on the thigh. So this is called a standard lotus pose, because of course this is the lotus position where you have both feet like that in a seated position. Okay. You've got ever such a slight bend in the knee there. You're going to bring the hand to the heart center. Okay, I'm just going to turn on the side to show you the next bit, because what we do now is we're going to bring the center of gravity right down. So we bend that standing leg and then we fold the body forward. Okay, keeping the eyes forward, down on the mat. Keep the palms together, remembering that when the palms come to connect like this, it's bringing both sides of the brain together for this perfection that lies right in the middle, the line that runs through the middle of the yin and the yang. And just for fun, because I know this isn't quite hard enough for some of you, can you come up onto your tiptoes? It's hilarious. I am just having a bit of fun, but that is one to try and master. And we'll just come down from there if you haven't already fallen down in a heap. And we're just going to do that on the other side. So you're just going to bring your feet right into the mat again, and then we're just going to do this on the other side. So a lot of this is just strengthening the leg and strengthening the foot for the main posture that we're doing tonight. So again, a little bend in the knee. We're going to bring this time. Oh, I can't remember which way I went. I think I did, yeah, I did it that way last time. Okay, so you just bring your foot onto the thigh as much as possible. I've got some funny little beads on my trousers that are right into my legs when I do that. Okay, hands into prayer. Remember that slight bend in the knee, and then you're going to take a bigger bend through the knee, and you're going to bend forward. So you're bringing the center of gravity down lower. Okay. And then, like I say, just for fun, if you wanted to, you could try and come up on some and it is just for fun. But it is, you know, this is great for opening the hips, this position, bringing your foot into this position. So great for strengthening the legs. So that was the half standing lotus pose anyway. And the next posture that I wanted us to do, how much time have we got left? Not loads. So yeah, so I was going to come into pyramid pose now. So pyramid pose is one that we sort of attempted a bit earlier on. Pyramid pose. So I'm going to do it on the side so you can see what I'm doing. Bring yourself into a nice standing position. And you're going to take a step forward with your left foot. Okay. So again, it's like when we came to Warrior One earlier on. We're keeping both feet as forward as we can, but allow that back toe to do what it was, to do what it wants, to look after your hips. So this time, we're keeping both legs completely straight. Okay, I want you to bring your hands onto your hips and keeping your key bit that I forgot to do with you earlier on. I say that far too much. I forgot this and I forgot that. Reverse prayer. So we're going to bring the hands into reverse prayer behind your back there, if you're able. If you can't manage that, just doing this with your arms is absolutely fine. Just remembering to swap them around the opposite way when we go in the other direction. Okay, so you're standing in this position with one leg straight, or both legs straight. You've brought your hands into this reverse prayer behind your back. Okay, and then from there, what I want you to do is I want you to keep your chin up. I want you to keep your chest moving forward. We're going to hinge from the hips and we're going to bend forward, okay? So this is bringing us into pyramid pose. Bending forward from the hips, keeping the chin forward. Keeping the eyes forward. We start to go lower and lower, just trying to keep the chin up as much as you can for now, because we're trying to keep the back straight for now with this, okay? Everything's straight here. And then once you've done that for a few breaths, then you can round the back out and start to bring the chin in towards the chest, forehead in towards the knee. And just breathe in there. Try and relax the shoulders. If you need to put a micro bend in the front knee to help your hamstrings out, do that. Otherwise, we're going to bend that front knee now. I'm going to push ourselves back up to standing. And release. Arms. Nice. Okay, let's do that reverse on the other side. So, we're going to do the other foot now. I can't remember which foot I told you to do. Okay, other foot forward. And you're going to bring your hands again into reverse prayer. If you didn't have your hands in reverse prayer, you just have them crossed. Remember to cross them in the non-habitual way as you come into this the second time on the other side. Okay, so as the hands come in behind your back, it encourages the chest forward. The chin comes up. You're kind of taking the eyes up ever so slightly. And then nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, you're hinging forward on the hips, keeping the back straight. Chin still up. Chest is still coming forward and through. And we're going to have a few breaths there. Everything's straight. The back's straight. The legs are straight. And you can just put a little bend in that front knee if that feels better for your hamstrings. You don't want anybody in agony there. And then you're going to allow the back to round out. The chin comes in towards the chest as the head comes in towards the knee. Couple of breaths here. Pyramid pose. And anything that brings your head lower than your heart automatically triggers your relaxation response. So these are lovely inversions. So bending that front knee, and you're going to bring yourself up to standing and just shake those arms out. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into Warrior 3 now. Usually when we do Warrior 3, I normally have blocks for you guys to use, but we don't have blocks. Well, I do, but I'm not going to do them with blocks because I'm assuming most of you won't have like proper yoga blocks. We don't need them. It's absolutely fine. So just bringing yourself sort of towards the back half of the mat. I want you to step forward with your left foot. And so we're coming into Warrior 3. So that you come into Warrior 1 to start off with, so you're bending that front knee. And from there, you're going to tip forward. You're going to bring that back foot off the floor. It's so much easier with blocks, because if you wanted to, you could have something in your hands there to lean on the floor with. Okay, so you're going to bring, where we're going with this, I'll just show you Warrior 3 fully. So we lift the back leg, you straighten the front leg, and the arms come out in front. Okay, so whenever you're ready, you're going to bring yourself into Warrior 3. So that's with a straight standing leg, a straight back leg, and if it feels okay for you and you want to bring your arms out in front as well, you can also do that. Takes quite a lot of focus, just finding your balance. And if you want to keep your standing leg bent, that's fine. And just breathing there. Warrior 3. Release that down. I find that really strong on the arch of my standing foot. I'm going to do that on the other side. Okay. So Warrior 3. So we take it a step forward with that front leg, and then we bring back leg off the floor. And straighten the standing leg. It's very difficult for me to like look over there. Not that I can see much of what you're doing. And make sure you're just trying to maintain it. And this is our yoga practice here, you know, this is where can you quieten your mind down enough to come to still. Okay, and release that down. So our final posture for tonight is single leg swan balance, and that is combining the last two postures that we've just done. So, so it's fab. I love it. It's a really nice posture to do. So you're bringing yourself into that pyramid pose, but on one leg. So it's challenging, but brilliant. And you can do it. I know you can do it. If you feel like you want something nearby to like rest on, you know, do it by a wall. That's fine. Don't, you know, don't be put off by, just go for it. You can really just go for it. Yeah, just do what's right for you. Okay, so just stepping forward then with the left foot. We're going to bring the hands into reverse prayer. Okay, so from here, we're going to bring ourselves standing. You're going to bend the front knee, and then you're going to bring the back leg off the floor. You're going to straighten the standing leg. And it's once you get into that position that things can change ever so slightly, because this is where you're going to come into that pyramid pose a bit more. So you're pushing the chest forward and through. Can you see the difference there? So I went from here to here. So you're pushing the chest forward and through. Chin's right up. Single leg, swan balance. And like me, if you keep coming out of it, just try taking yourself back in again. And if you've had enough, you can just finish there. And releasing down. Well held. Just releasing the arms out. And again, if that feels, you know, you're not doing the reverse prayer with the hands, remember to swap the arms over behind your back when we come in to do this other side. Okay then, so just backing up on the mat a bit again. And then take a step forward with the right foot. You're going to bring the hands into reverse prayer. This reverse prayer stuff, by the way, is fantastic for as ladies of a certain age. As osteoporosis begins to be more of a thing that we should be concerned about. So this is great for strengthening those forearms. And you can feel why. It feels like they might break, I think, sometimes when you're doing it. But just getting comfortable with that. Okay, so you've bent this front knee at the front. And then we're just going to ever so carefully bring that back foot up. And then we'll start to straighten the front foot. So you're kind of in a bit warrior three there, kind of. And then we bring it into this swan balance by bringing the shoulders back, pushing the chest through and bringing the chin up. So the elbows are coming out to the sides more as well. And breathing there. And I bet you all just look like the most beautiful swans. Of course you do. Graceful, serene, smiling, no doubt. Few more breaths. And releasing down. And that was our main posture for today. Yay! Okay, so I'm just going to bring ourselves down onto the mat then. I'm just going to bring the legs out to the side. Let's get the back nice and straight here. We're not bringing the legs out. We're going to bring the feet in. So we're bringing the feet into cobbler pose. I want you to really straighten the back while you're there, holding onto the ankle, push the chest through, get the back nice and straight. Okay. We're going to run over a little bit tonight, so apologies. We'll be finished by sort of 10 past, maybe even a little bit before. Okay. So we're just going to take the left foot, keep the right foot exactly where it is, and take the left foot out in front. And then what I want you to do with it, sometimes when I teach this, I teach it with a straight back. Because I've just been doing all of that back work, what I want you to do is I want you to round the back. Oh, doesn't that feel nice? The back rounds out. And I just want you to allow your head to fall and drop. And I just want you to stay here with the breath. You can connect the hands with the leg or the ankle if you want to. But equally, just feel free this is just our little wind down pose. Just a bit of a counter pose for everything that's been going on through the back, really. And you might find as you stay there, you start to gradually just move a bit more into that pose, just into this is head over knee pose. Of course, all of these postures have got Sanskrit names, but I always feel like it makes yoga seem a little bit inaccessible when people start shouting out lots of Sanskrit words, but nobody really knows what they mean. So just try and keep the language somewhere where we can all access it. Just bringing the head, you'll have found now that you've probably sunk down. If you're relaxing, that is, if you're relaxing, you've probably sunk right down into that posture by now. Okay, just taking your hands onto the floor and just allowing your hands to help you come back to sitting. Bring your both feet into it together. And we're going to take the other leg out this time. Okay, again the same, making sure we've got a nice straight spine to start off with, because we're going to allow that to loosen right out. Often when I teach this, I teach it with very straight legs, very straight back, but we're doing this as a counter pose, so it's nice and relaxed as you just allow your body to come forward and soften and just ease out. So the head just becomes heavy there. Just allow the knee to relax as well, and that will allow the hamstrings to ease off, and we'll just allow you to fall into this posture. Allow the shoulders to ease out. Taking the breath to anywhere that it's needed. So if you feel a little tension somewhere, just try and release that tension on the exhale. And just bring yourself back to sitting. Just from there, we're not going to do breath practice tonight. We are going to just come in and do our relaxation. So, just bringing yourself down onto your mat. I'm looking for something warm. It's cold here. So I just want you to bring yourself down onto your mat into Shavasana, which is corpse pose. So that's just lying on your back. I'm gonna snuggle down as well. I got a message from one of you lovely lot saying they wanted to give me a big hug when they saw me getting snuggled down the other week. It's just nice sometimes to snuggle down with a blanket. So if you feel like you want to get a blanket on as well, that's really fine. And I'm just going to talk you into this lovely relaxation. So yeah, so hands are just a little bit away from the body, palms face up if that feels okay for you. And the feet are just falling away from each other. If you need to put something underneath your knees to stop any lower back problems, just put a little cushion under there, something, keep you supported. Just allow yourself to relax and release. just to ease right in to the mat. Closing your eyes. I want you to bring your attention to your toes. Just allowing the toes to completely relax and soften. Allowing the soles of the feet to become soft and relaxed. And the tops of the feet easing out. Just allow them to become soft and relaxed. Allow the ankles to soften. Allow the calves to become relaxed, soft, heavy, just melting into the mat. Allow the shins to soften and the knees to become soft. Just allowing just breathing into the knees, allowing them to soften and relax. Allowing the thighs to soften and relax. Easing right out. Allow the buttocks to become soft, completely relaxed. The pelvic floor to relax. The whole of the pelvis just become soft. Let your tummy soften. Your lower back just becomes easy as it eases out into the mat. The intestines easing. The organs in the tummy just becoming soft and relaxed as well. Allow the rib cage to soften. The diaphragm to become soft. Allow the middle of the back to ease out. That relaxation just starts to spread throughout the whole of the back, into the shoulder blades. It comes round, down, under the armpits, into the ribs, into the chest. Just softening and relaxing. That relaxation arrives. Relaxing the collarbone, the tops of the shoulders. Relax the upper arms, let them become completely soft. The elbows soften. The forearms relax and become easy. Allow the wrists to soften. The palms of the hands become soft. The backs of the hands are soft and relaxed. And the fingers and thumbs just easing out. The whole of the body just held and relaxed. Allow the throat to soften. Just allowing the throat to completely relax, become soft. The whole of the neck just softens out. Allow the back of the scalp to relax, just melting into the mat. The top of the scalp relaxing as well. Allow the temples to soften and the cheekbones to become soft. Allow the jawline to soften, the chin to become soft. The skin around the nose relaxes and allow the eyes to roll back as they soften and relax. Let the lips soften. Allow the tongue to become soft and relaxed. and the breath nice and easy as you take a few more minutes of silence, relaxation. So we'll just start to wiggle our fingers and toes there now. And you just start to make those movements a little bit bigger, maybe moving into the arms and the legs, allowing yourself just to stretch the arms and legs out. Keeping the eyes closed, then we're just going to bring the knees in and we're going to roll over onto the right side and just take another minute there. And then again, just keeping the eyes closed. I just want you to come and bring yourself up to sitting. Keeping the eyes closed. We're going to bring the palms of the hands together and rub the palms of the hands until the palms get nice and warm. And once there's lots of lovely heat in the palms of the hands, we're going to bring the warm palms over the closed eyes and very slowly just allow the light to return and come back in. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed your practice tonight. It's a real pleasure to teach you. If you have any questions, if you know anyone that wants to come and join our future classes, I'm going to be running these regularly Wednesdays and Fridays, and you can get the replay as well. So yeah, thanks ever so much for coming and joining me, and I will speak to you soon. Thanks. Bye. Bye.